The British Prime Minister David Cameron has visited the new Conservative Polish government, and they were talking about the plans of Britain to reform the European Union in order to keep Britain within the EU. In a press conference, they talked about the role of nation states and that the importance of nation states should not be forgotten. While in my ideas of the European Union, nation states indeed are very important, but they can have many different functions in Europe. So I wrote the following about this press conference. What are they talking about when they say the role of nation states? What do they want? A Europe which is just a single market and further only a discussion forum between national governments? Such a Europe will never fulfill its potential for the European citizens. Such a Europe can only decide based on unanimity, and with 28 EU member states that is impossible. Such a Europe can never be a force against the powers of globalisation. It will never be able to solve the refugee crisis nor any other major crisis in which there are contradictory interests in Europe. These conservative politicians basically want the old Europe plus a single market. But this single market does not fundamentally alter the structure of Europe. So, the logical consequence of this is that the dark sides of the old Europe will reappear, in the end destroying the single market apart from all the other destruction it will bring. We have tried this old Europe of the conservatives for 2000 years. It failed because it simply cannot work. The words of the Polish Prime Minister basically underline this. What we saw here was basically the emergence of a new axis in Europe, Polish-UK, to counterbalance the German-Franco axis. This is the old Europe. Rival power centers in Europe. This will only lead to distrust, disunity, rivalry, less cooperation and tensions. In fact, it will lead us nowhere. These conservative ideas won't work. They are fata morganas. We have to agree upon certain areas where we have shared sovereignty in Europe, whether we like it or not, executed by the EU Commission and controlled by European Parliament. If we continue to refuse this out of a conservative reflex or sentiment, the end result will be a collapse of Europe, even in case Europe is only a single market. Europe needs a powerful and effective supranational layer to remain order and to act against challenges of European dimensions. That is in my interest as a citizen, not this hollow provincialism of the British and Polish governments.